Millin here from Tesla Taxi. Currently we have this car in ICE mode driver profile with chill acceleration. Today I'm going to demonstrate full FSD, which in Australia will activate stoplight control. So once we've changed the driver profile, we can go for a little drive through some traffic lights and we'll see exactly how this operates here in early 2023 in Brisbane, Australia. Once we go into drive, everything's active for FSD. We'll exit this car park manually. This is also a good car park for testing out the summon if that's something you're wanting to play with. I personally recommend using summon in more the after hours time when there's less cars and people around, because summon is very much in beta in Australia and will make a lot of interesting / silly decisions when you are interacting with traffic or pedestrians. So once we get onto the road here, we can activate our self-driving mode. We'll need to get out of this lane because there's a traffic issue ahead of us here. So I'll manually take over just to not do anything silly around the police. And we'll jump across into this lane, see if we can get around this traffic issue and put the car back in self-driving mode once it's safe to do so. You'll notice the grey steering wheel that pops up every now and then means that the car is ready to engage full self-driving. However, we will be a bit more careful around this traffic incident because there are people on the road loading this car up, etc. And we don't want to risk any negative interactions here in 2023. So now that we've passed the traffic issue, we can enable FSD. You'll notice now that when we approach these traffic lights, it will show up a green or red line. To make the line go green, you can press down on the stalk or tap the accelerator, which will let us go straight through these traffic lights because they are green. Again, it will stop at these ones unless we actually click down on the stalk or tap the accelerator. Some people find the traffic light control very useful, and some people actually prefer to turn traffic light control off because you don't then need to actually confirm to go through a green light. If you have traffic light control turned off, the car will go through traffic lights regardless of whether they're green or red, and it's your responsibility as the driver to take over as appropriate. As you can see here, every time I hit a set of traffic lights, even if they are green, I do need to intervene and press down on the gear selector stalk to tell the car that it is safe to proceed through those traffic lights. Again, if we take that function off in the autopilot settings, the car will just go through traffic lights regardless of the colour. And again, it is your responsibility to take over and action as a driver how you should be proceeding through the set of traffic lights. Tesla-Taxi.com.au if you'd like to rent a car with or without FSD, Autopilot or Advanced Autopilot. Once we get onto the freeway in just a moment, the car will go into what's called Navigate on Autopilot mode if we set a destination. So if we want to go to, for example, the Gold Coast, we can open up our chargers, we can click the Gold Coast charger, and then it will navigate towards that charger. So again, Navigate on Autopilot won't work on city streets in Australia at this stage. FSD beta may come to Australia in the next 6 to 12 months, but at the moment you need to be in America to use the FSD beta, which will actually navigate through intersections like we're seeing here. All that the Australian version will do effectively is go straight through any intersection, so with or without traffic light control, the car will not change with navigation which way you go through a set of traffic lights other than proceeding straight ahead if safe to do so. So you'll see with this intersection we have a lead car, so in theory we don't need to do anything. However, if we did, we would either be tapping the accelerator or clicking down on the gear selector to confirm that the green light is in fact green and you've confirmed that as the human driver. At this stage, all traffic lights require intervention unless you have a lead car in Australia. And again, once we get through this traffic lights, you'll see the visualization. These two blue lines will turn into one central line, which means the car is actually ready to take on-ramps and off-ramps on the freeway. So this should stop at this set of traffic lights with no intervention from me, which is what you'd want at a set of red traffic lights in Australia. And again, once this actually turns green, as there is no lead car, we will need to press down on the gear selector stalk to confirm the green light is green, or again we can tap the accelerator to do the same job to let the car know that we have confirmed that the green is green, safe to proceed. So I believe we'll need to do one more set of light changes before this intersection will let us proceed. The on-ramp to the freeway is just up ahead of us, and as I said, once we are on the freeway, we will be able to use Navigate on Autopilot to actually let the car take us on and off on-ramps and off-ramps if it is on the same freeway system. And that is the advantage of Navigate on Autopilot, which you get with the FSD or the Advanced Autopilot system in Australia, based on the recording of this video, which is early February 2023 in Queensland, Australia. Once we get onto the freeway, it will be taking us straight to the Gold Coast charges, and once we are on the freeway, I'll probably change that destination so that the car will actually take us off the freeway, just to demonstrate how exactly that process works. So again, press down on the stalk here, but the lights have changed, so the car will automatically stop, even though we did confirm when it was green that we could proceed. And you will notice this red line coming up here. That red line will indicate if the car is going to stop or proceed. Of course, if it makes the wrong decision, as the human driver, you need to intervene by either tapping the brake or taking control of the car in any other means, which could be grabbing the steering wheel or disengaging autopilot by clicking up on the gear selector stalk. So again, once this changes green, I'll click down on the gear selector stalk to let the car know to proceed through this intersection, and we'll see if it merges onto the freeway effectively. Generally speaking, it's quite effective. However, you do want to be ready to jump on the brake or the accelerator if the car is moving inappropriately, as again, all functions in Australia currently require complete driver supervision, which means if a car's making the wrong decision, it's up to you as the human driver to intervene and take over from the car. It's a bit of a tricky one, so it's not human-like exactly through this intersection, but again, I didn't need to take over in this particular case. And we'll see if this can merge into the traffic here without any intervention, and if I do need to intervene, I'll simply grab the steering wheel and that will disengage the autopilot or FSD functions until I re-enable it by clicking down twice on the gear selector. So at the moment it's clear on our right, so it's fine to let the car do its thing. Weather's not perfect, as you can see. The windscreen wipers are automatic, and that indication that we were going to the right did take a little bit longer than a human would have to cancel, but again, all these things as a human you can override by simply using the indicator stalk, or as I mentioned, taking over from the car altogether. So once we go past this exit, in fact what we might do is end this trip now and change our destination. Sorry, I'll have to change the destination in just a moment because I haven't set up home or work on this account. So I'll just wait for it to go past this exit, and what we'll do is go for a charger in the other direction, which should get us off the next exit on this freeway. So in half a kilometre it's going to exit the freeway off to the left, and it may stay on Navigate on Autopilot. You'll notice the lanes haven't actually changed, so I might disengage that now and see if it can give us a solid blue line in the middle, which it has not. So I'll have to redo this demonstration later. Possibly it's due to the poor weather here. It says that the Navigate on Autopilot can't be enabled due to poor weather, so unfortunately it's not a perfect demo today, but I will make a new demo where we can actually show the exit from the freeway in full. Tesla-Taxi.com.au if you'd like to rent a Tesla with any of the advanced functions that I've demonstrated today, and I'll make a separate video that just shows exactly how this Navigate on Autopilot operates on a freeway to change lanes and take exits appropriately. Thank you.